Jordan Benjamin, better known as Grandson, is a young up-and-comer in the alt-rock and electronic music scene, getting more and more recognition with each release. My name is Marek and today I will be talking about newest chapter in A Modern Tragedy trilogy. Cheers.
As Grandson grows, as I grow, calls to action grow, and change grows. Sick.
Thank you!
Sick. What's your name?
I'm Sam.
Hi Sam, I'm Jordan.
This is awesome!
Basically every installment in A Modern Tragedy EP trilogy so far is filled with truly exciting and addictive music. A mix of adrenaline-filled beats with rock guitars and massive bass drops, with some trap and hip-hop influences on top of that. But what makes his songs stick with you even long after you listen to them is his undeniable talent to write really catchy tunes. Add to this list one more crucial ingredient: socially and politically charged lyrics delivered often with anger and passion by Jordan. For him, music is a platform used to raise awareness regarding important issues, whether it's politics, mental health, drug abuse, gun violence, or hopelessness, which can lead a person to drastic measures, like it was brilliantly described in amazing Stick Up from Volume 1. A Modern Tragedy Volume 3 starts with Rock Bottom, and right from the beginning he paints a pessimistic and I would even say a hopeless vision of complete disbelief at where we ended up. Not only did we hit rock bottom, but we dug deep enough to be able to look up at it. But the most important part of the message here is a criticism of this nothing can be done so just let go mentality. He recalls a conversation with his neighbor telling him to get a regular job and stop trying to make a change since it's impossible, it's just a waste of his time. It's easier to pretend everything is okay and just turn on the TV than to protest something that seems to be too powerful anyway. But honestly, saying something like that to a person like Jordan seems pretty senseless and even naive, since all he do in his life and career seems to be dedicated to making a change in the world, small or big. Not only through his music but also with his involvement in various causes like, for example, XX Resistance movement, which is all about empowering and involving people into causes they care about. Track number 2, Oh No, is Grandson at his best both musically and when it comes to his attitude. The lyrics are pretty grim, telling about running from situations that can lead to a self-destructive behaviors. Every ingredient of your typical Grandson mixture is here, with rocking guitar meeting energetic electronic beat, which is his trademark sound at this point. Put Me Under is something different for him, as this song is gentler than the ones before, which plays along with the nature of the lyrics. Sometimes we all need to turn ourselves off from the overwhelming noise of the world, as well as all the problems we carry on our shoulders. But if you think this one was an atypical song for Grandson, just wait what comes next after Put Me Under. Destroy Me is definitely the biggest surprise on Volume 3. Entire EP is a bit toned down when compared to his previous releases, but here he gets closer to a classic ballad than he ever did before. Gentle beat floats serenely, accompanied by the sound of acoustic guitar in this, inspired by, believe it or not, Frank Ocean, ethereal gem in his discography. Being his most uncharacteristic track, I can see Destroy Me dividing Grandson's old fans, but for me it shows he can pull off something from outside of his usual comfort zone and succeed at that. To make sure we don't think he got soft or anything like that, he ends this EP with Die Young, going back to his more aggressive side with rapping verses and a huge drop. Even despite his earlier lyrics about giving up in this fight against more powerful enemy, even when you die, your truth will outlive you and the message will stay forever with the rest of us. They told me get my head out of the clouds, now we getting wild in the crowd, I'll be headed where I never was allowed. Those words sums up perfectly what he thinks about anyone telling him it's not worth to fight for what you believe in, or to face the challenges instead of running away from them. Grandson delivered on Volume 3 exactly what was expected of him, keeping the bar he set for himself with Volume 1 and 2. Although for me personally the first installment in the trilogy is still unbeatable. When you have gems like Stick Up, Despicable or Blood Water on one EP, it is obviously going to be very hard to top that. Nevertheless, Volume 3 gave us more of what we loved about Jordan's music so far, but also presented some interesting new directions he might delve deeper into on his next projects. I also appreciated his lyricism. Often I feel like his texts are almost cinematic-like, being descriptive in a way that makes a listener imagine possible accompanying video. Jordan already announced that his next step after finishing this trilogy is a full-length full-length LP in 2020, which would be great. Grandson is undoubtedly talented, charismatic and driven artist, with crystallized views on his generation's problems. And this is the kind of artist and message that is valuable and much needed. Next to my head you will find more videos of interviews and reviews on my channel. I will see you next time and thank you for watching.